Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Buckley. Today I'm going to be talking about decisions that you can make to have better sex and a better relationship. If you're liking these videos and finding them useful, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel and like the video. It would mean a lot to me. So let's talk about decisions you can make to have a better relationship and better sex. So I wrote a book called 21 Decisions for Great Sex and a Happy Relationship, and that's exactly what it is. It is 21 decisions, all followed with action steps that you can make and that you can do that can really change your relationship. The good news is you don't have to do all of them, just one. You only have to pick one. One decision can change your life. It can improve your relationship. It can even improve your sex life. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And I think you're going to be really surprised at the last one. Not one that you would have expected. So stay tuned and watch till the end. So first, a really great decision that you can make that's going to really make a difference in your relationship and your sex life is to do something or go somewhere new at least once a month. If you can do it more, even better. But just doing something new together or trying a new activity or going to a new place, it can really make a difference in your relationship. Why? You know, after you're together for a while, things get pretty predictable and routine. And whether it's in bed or out of bed, that can negatively impact your relationship. A better way to say it is when you add new activities, new adventures, and go to new places together. Of course, that works with sex too, but it could even be going to a new restaurant or walking in a new neighborhood or listening to different music together. Doing those things really can get some dopamine going in your brain, which is a great hormone that we experience when we're in new relationships. And it feels really different when we're doing these new things with someone who we've been with for a while that we feel like we pretty much know what's going to happen day in and day out. The fact is, relationships get predictable after a while. And you know, when they're predictable, they're not so exciting. You know, oftentimes we want some excitement, we need some excitement in our life. And if we can do that with our partner, that much better. And there's lots of different ways you can do that. You can just decide to write a list of things that you want to do together that you haven't done or things that you want to try. Write out that list, and maybe once a week or once a month or whenever you agree, you just look at that list and you pick some things to do. And it really can make a difference. You'd be surprised. Again, it can be sexual, but it doesn't have to be. It really just means creating some excitement in your life and in your relationship. That's decision number one. Decision number two, and this one is really important. It is to touch more, but to touch without any sexual expectation. That's the important part. Touch is such an important part for us to bond and feel loved and feel close. But oftentimes, especially if we've been in a relationship for a while, we stop touching. And when we do touch, it's when we're going to have sex. For example, when's the last time you passionately kissed your partner? Now, if you're in a new relationship, you're probably doing it more often. But even new relationships, passionate kissing tends to go out the window. So just decide to touch more, to passionately kiss. That means like at least a minute. Nice, passionate, wet, juicy, hot kisses. You do that with no sex, no expectation of sex. It might actually turn into sex. But when you do it without the expectation and you create that environment, when you both know you can touch each other, you can kiss one another, you can rub one another with no sexual expectation, you'll start doing it more. And guess what happens? You start having more sex because you're actually feeling closer. So it could be passionate kissing, it could be holding hands, it could be a foot rub or a back rub or a head rub or a butt rub. You know, having those nice massages. They don't have to be like, you know, full-on clinical massages. But you know, if you're sitting and watching TV together and you start rubbing your partner's feet, no expectation of sex, you're gonna have a partner who wants to have sex with you. No guarantees, but pretty likely to happen. Touch is such an important thing, and again, without the expectation of sex, you make the decision to do that and you do it every single day, you will notice a difference. So let's talk about decision number three. Decision number three is to learn something about your partner. It could be learning about what turns them on sexually. It could be learning about things that they've been thinking about the future, things that they worry about. You might think you know your partner, and I've talked about this in other videos, and you can click right here to check that out. But I promise you, you do not know everything there is to know about your partner. And when you start asking those questions and being curious and learn new things, just decide that you are going to learn something new about your partner every day. You will find that your relationship will get better and your sex life will get better as well. So again, it could be sexual. Tell me some things that you've wanted to try that we haven't done. What are some of your fantasies? What are some things that really turn you on that we've done or maybe we haven't done? What are some things, just tell me, I want to know, that turn you off? And that can be anything. I see couples and they tell me stories about things that their partner's been doing or not doing that really bothers them, turns them off sexually, but they don't tell their partner because they don't want to hurt their feelings. And when they do tell their partner's so grateful. It's like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me that? I had no idea. I had a client whose husband would do this thing with his penis before they had sex, and she hated it. It really turned her off, but she didn't want to hurt his feelings, so she never told him. This went on for years and years. She finally told him, and he was like, oh my God, why didn't you tell me that? So when she finally told him, he was relieved, she was relieved he didn't do it anymore. I had another client who didn't like the way that her husband smelled. It's not that he had body odor. It wasn't that he stunk because of cleanliness. It was just his smell. She didn't like it. And it's a bit of a problem. Smell is such an important thing. So she didn't want to hurt his feelings. She didn't want to tell him. Ends up though, when he did take a shower, with a certain kind of soap, he smelled really good and she liked that. This went on for a very long time, years, and she never told him. But she was turned off by him, so they didn't have sex very often. And then when she was finally able to tell him, well, he started taking more showers and they had more sex. So sometimes it's those simple things you just never know. Okay, here is the last decision, the one that I said you might be surprised about, but I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Laugh every day. Just decide to laugh. Now, this is good for your own mental well-being and health, but it's also really good for your relationship if you can laugh together. And, sometimes it just happens spontaneously, and that's great. And I'll tell you an easy way to do that. Just act silly. And when you can be silly and playful and fun, you too will laugh. And sometimes it's planned. You can watch your favorite sitcom together, or maybe a funny movie. I mean, there's so many great funny movies, and we've got some time at home these days. So watch a movie like once a week, laugh, tell jokes. We don't tell jokes so much anymore. You could literally Google the best jokes and you could have a joke telling contest, see who tells the best joke. Another great thing you can do is remember a really funny experience that you shared together and talk about that. Just reminisce and talk about that or many experiences that you have had together. Maybe even at the time they weren't so funny. Sometimes we need that distance and time to be able to laugh. They lost all of our luggage when we went on our honeymoon and we didn't have any clothes. Maybe not so funny, but you can look back now and you can have a good laugh. And sometimes it's those experiences that you laughed at the time and you can laugh about it again. Get those endorphins flowing, creating some excitement and some playfulness and some newness and some connectedness, all of that we tend to stop doing when we've been in a relationship for a while. All it takes is making a decision. So make those decisions, but decisions, they are commitments. They're not like, oh, I think I want to, I think I should, maybe I will. No, it's I have decided. And the reason why I named my book 21 Decisions, and the reason why I talk about decisions, is because whenever I encounter a client who has made a great improvement or transition, I always hear the words, I decided. I decided I was going to lose weight. I decided I was going to work out every single day. I decided I was going to treat people with kindness and compassion. I decided that I was not going to give up. I decided to go to school and do the thing that I always wanted to do. I decided to quit my job. Sometimes it's I decided to get a divorce. So making those decisions, they are life-changing. I will put a link for my book below, 21 Decisions for Great Sex and a Happy Relationship. And I promise you, one decision. You can make whichever one you want. In the back of the book, I have listed all of the decisions, so you can just take the shortcut route, or you can read the book, which is very small, and just look and see what will fit for you. It's all about sex and relationships, and maybe you come up with your own decision. If you do, please write your comments. Let me know a decision that you made that changed your life. I really do want to hear it. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. It really does mean a lot to me, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye.